All right, you know what? This is becoming one of those videos where I talk for a long time about basically nothing. It is Sunday, June 27th, 2021, and today on Sunday Sofatime, I'm gonna tell you about the MSC Yacht Club. Welcome to my new living room. No, I'm not on the ship, and no, I'm obviously not at home. I am currently at the Genova airport. Take a look. This is my view at the moment. Put you guys back down here. We're waiting for our flight. We can't even check in yet. We got to the airport just so quickly, and part of the reason we got here so quickly was the services offered in the Yacht Club. So the people who were departing today, we all met in the Yacht Club lounge this morning at 10:30, and then the butlers and the staff came up and took small groups of people and literally walked us through the ship, past everybody else, past the line on security, off of the ship, to our bags. It was so quick. It was, yeah, I mean, that's definitely something that's part of the experience that is worth the extra money, I guess. And altogether, I have to say, speaking of money, that's something I don't think that I've talked about a lot in the videos that are going to be coming up, because I did do some, oh, wind, wait, did you see that? I summoned a napkin. Marcus is right here. Say hi, Marcus. So, what you are going to be getting in the next few weeks are audio books, basically, from me. I mean, I guess people call them podcasts. A podcast, I don't know, when I started making them, I didn't think that I was going to make a podcast, but I just know recently, especially recently, how interesting it can be to have a video on in the background of something I like to listen to, but that I don't necessarily need to be watching to feel like I'm getting everything. So I recorded 4 or 5 podcasts, let's just call them podcasts, while on the ship, talking about different options or different subjects, including, you know what, you're just gonna have to wait and see. I did make 1 or 2 short videos, especially the one that sticks out in my head right now is the burrito incident. You'll be hearing about that soon. So those are gonna be coming up probably weekly or every, I don't know, like 2 times a week for the next few weeks, because, you know, when I get back to Hamburg tonight, I am there for like 1.5 nights, and then I fly to Minnesota to spend some time finally with my family again. And my battery is blinking again already on this camera. I'm still not sure what to think about this new camera. Anyways, hopefully before the battery dies, let me just say that I would definitely cruise with the Yacht Club again if the price was right. And here's a question that I want to pose to myself and to Marcus and to any of you out there. So, considering what we just experienced, let's say the NCL Getaway or the Royal Caribbean Harmony of the Seas was offering the same itinerary, and for, let's say, slightly less, like 100 euros, 200 euros less per person, we could cruise on the Harmony or the NCL Getaway or whatever, or the Bliss, in a standard balcony cabin with the drink package. So I had to switch to my telephone because the battery died already. In this new camera, the battery lasts like 45 minutes, maybe. All right, so the question I wanted to ask is, with the big fancy American ships like the NCL Getaway or the Harmony of the Seas, for like just a slightly less price, cruising in a standard balcony cabin with the drink package, or or to cruise in the Yacht Club again. And it's a question I wanted to ask Marcus, but he just stood up and walked away. That shows you how little he's interested in being part of these videos. And that's not a read, that's not a critique. It's just people ask me all the time, why don't you show Marcus? And it's because he does not get joy in presenting himself this way. And that's totally fine. But so when you ask me, why don't you show Marcus? It's because he's just not interested in it. And I don't want to make him do it. However, on some of those podcasts that I told you about, you will hear his voice, and I think I did show him in the live stream I did from on board on the first day. So It's not that you don't ever see him, but he just is not somebody to present himself like this. I think the question about Yacht Club on MSC and everything that comes with an MSC cruise, the good and the bad, compared to standard balcony cabin with the drink package on Harmony or NCL, it's a tough question. I really don't know what to say about it right now. I feel like a lot of the points I'll be talking about in the podcasts, but I definitely don't feel like we paid too much for what we got. And in fact, I want to say it was a pretty good price for what we got. That was a really excellent cruise. Of course, there are things that are still not like back to normal. So there are certain things that we didn't really get to experience, but one of the big advantages is the ship is not full. So I'm assuming the Yacht Club is also not full. But in the podcast that I recorded yesterday or 2 days ago, I talked about all the things that the Yacht Club is not, all the things I was expecting it was going to be, or that I know other people asked me about. Oh, there's some airport feeling.
Informa che, come da disposizioni ministeriali, all'interno del terminal è obbligatorio indossare la mascherina. Inoltre, tutti sono invitati a...
By the way, starting tomorrow in Italy, the mask mandate is lifted outdoors, and a lot of people have been talking about that here. You know, like if I had the 3 things laid out, it's the same itinerary, and then it's the Yacht Club for just a little bit more than the price of a balcony cabin with the drink package on NCL or the Harmony, it would be a really tough decision just because there was a lot of really good things happening in the Yacht Club, and a lot of things that we prefer to not have were, I think I just explained that in a very confusing way, but I'm just a little bit distracted right now by having this entire terrace here to myself and Marcus disappearing and just being here with you alone. I guess if I break it down, the 2 biggest, like 2.5 biggest benefits to me after this week has gone by now is, 1, just having a smaller pool area, and you'll hear me talk about it in the one podcast. That doesn't mean that it was less crowded. It definitely doesn't mean that it was less loud, and it doesn't mean that there were no kids, because all of those things were not the case. But I just feel like if you are sort of fighting for space at the pool, at least it's a smaller area and there's less people fighting for that space, and somehow that made it better. Also, the service, like how many times somebody comes to ask if you want a drink or a snack or bring you a sandwich or your room service order up to the pool, all that stuff is something that just is definitely on top of... Sorry about the rude Italian people here constantly interrupting me. Don't they know I'm trying to do YouTube? But what I'm trying to say is just the amount of service provided at the small but yet still somewhat crowded pool area also made it a big bonus for me. The all-included drink package, where it's really like basically everything. You know what? There's no point to this anymore. All right, you know what? This is becoming one of those videos where I talk for a long time about basically nothing. And one of the reasons is just because, like I said, I'm kind of distracted here. Second one is I talked about so much of this stuff already in these podcasts that are coming up, but I just thought it would be cool to sit down here in this situation while we really have nothing else to do while we're waiting to check in for our flight. And yeah, just chat a little bit with you about it. So now the question to Marcus, if it's almost the same price, the same cruise in the Yacht Club on MSC or in a standard balcony cabin with drink package on Harmony of the Seas or NCL Getaway, which one would you pick? Yacht Club. And I want to say the thing that I would miss if we, like in that situation, comparing all 3, I'm just gonna say it really quick, would be the shows. I think I can't do this anymore. So one thing that Marcus and I were just discussing is that the entertainment is something that MSC has improved a lot over the years, but they still have a long way to go before they get to close to the entertainment. And we're not talking about just the shows in the, like the musical shows, but you know, things like dueling pianos and like quiz and just all the little things that happen during the day and especially at night to keep you entertained and to give you something to do. It may have to do with just the current situation and the way cruising has to be at the moment, but altogether, it just seems like you definitely have more fun, like fun on NCL and on Royal. And if you want to be more relaxed and more like laid back and sipping martinis in the sunlight, then that's definitely more a Yacht Club, more MSC experience. All right, before I get interrupted again and before I go off on another tangent talking about basically nothing, I'm gonna wrap this up, but I just thought I'd take the time to sit down here in this beautiful environment and share a couple minutes with you. So I hope you're looking forward to those podcasts. I know they're not for everybody, but it's just something I wanted to do, and I explained more about it in the first one. So I'm looking forward to your feedback as well. I'm Morgan from the very unofficial travel guides. The secret word is informazione, because it's written right there. See you soon.